Hi guys, how are we all doing? 11922 here with the second part of the Q&A, and unlike the first part, I'm not going to bang on for half an hour just for no purpose at all. I'm going to dive straight into it and try and get the remainder of these questions answered as best as I can, so I don't try and get 3 parts done with this, because if I put up 3 parts, I think you guys would probably kill me. So to kick things off, we're going to go with Trainboy38 LOL. With what app do I use to tell where trains are coming from and going to? I use an app called Real Time Trains. Lady of Deception, cracking name. Are you interested in model railways as well as real world, or is real world stuff your sole interest? Nope, I love both. I've got a vast collection of model railway trains, huge collection. I'm part of the Milton Keynes Model Railway Society, and I take a lot of my stock there and run it around. Excuse me. I also film it as well. There are 2 videos on my channel of one running session and a diesel gala that I filmed with one of the other chaps that goes there. So yeah, that's that one. Stuart Bunstead, would you or could you do a trains at Cambridge North? I know a tiny bit of history about it. Certainly, I will go there at some stage. When I do it, I'm actually going to do Cambridge Station as well, so I may as well get both done. It makes plenty of sense. But I think Cambridge Station is actually busier than Cambridge North. But I will do it. When it comes around to doing it, I don't know, but I will do it. Right, Dan Martin. How long do you spend filming at, say, Leeds, for example, to do 30 minutes of film? Roughly about an hour. And an hour would get me 30 minutes of film because of how busy the station is. And also we've got to remember is that because the trains are coming into a terminate, they're actually coming in at a fairly slow pace. So I could probably spend 30 seconds filming, say, a 185 pulling in, and say a 150 coming out. When the Virgin train services were coming into Leeds, I could spend about a minute filming them actually just coming in. And again, same with departing. So really, to get a 30-minute film out of, say, Leeds, I would probably spend about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, depending on how busy it is at the time of the day. Right, Trainboy38 LOL. What is your opinion of the Class 800s? Now, I travelled on an 800 just recently from Bristol Temple Meads to Bath's. Was it Bath's Spa? No. Yes, Bristol. Yeah, Bristol Temple Meads to Bath's Spa. Right. So, in levels of comfort, the seats are very firm, whereas the HST, well, the Mark III, should I say, there's much more cushion to it. It's much more comfortable. Legroom is completely the same. There's not much differentiate between them at all. In terms of lighting, the 800 has much better lighting for the entire length of the carriage, better field of vision, and when you do get into the Mark III, you'll find that they have like paper slips for reserved seats. In the 800s, they have electrical displays with the green lights suggesting that the seat is free, or a red light with the LED display saying where it's reserved from. So it could be London Paddington to Reading, or it could be the entire length of the journey. So the Mark III is much more comfortable than the 800, but the 800 has much better acceleration, the lighting is much better, and in terms of noise, the 800 is actually quieter when you're inside. You can't hear much outside. You can't hear like the wheels on the line itself. And even with a diesel engine, you can't hear it all that way. You can still hear it, but it's not terribly loud. Whereas in a Mark III carriage, you can hear the wheels on the line, and you're much more aware of the noise around you. Trainboy30 LOL again. Would you do a train vid in Germany? If yes, what station? Berlin. That's easy, Berlin. And Trainboy38 again. Is Transplant Express getting new trains? If so, what are the new trains and what will happen to the 185s and 450s? Well, the 450s are actually 350s. They're 354 units, and there's 10 of them. London North Western Railway are getting those, and I believe they're going to be going their London Euston to Preston routes because of the intercity styling of the 354 variety. The 185s, I believe, are staying, as far as I'm aware, but they're getting some 800s. They're getting 802 units, which are 5-car electric bi-mode units, and they're getting Mark V carriages with 68s to go from Newcastle to Liverpool via Middlesbrough, from what I'm aware. And they are getting some Nova trains. Again, I think these are solely electric ones, but they're getting a massive refurb on their entire fleet. So the 350s, and there are 10 of them, 354s, in the next, I think, in either 2019, they're going to the London North Western Railway for the London Euston to Preston services. The 185s, I'm fairly certain that they're keeping a handful of them, if not all of them. I've certainly not seen anything or been made aware of anything that could being shipped off elsewhere. And you've asked me, can I do if we do in Germany or wherever I would go, so I've already done that one. Preservation 29, favourite pre-grouping livery? Do you think it's coming home? And favourite non-UK locos? Well, pre-grouping livery, I don't know, it's difficult. Because there's so many of them. Do you think it's coming home? Well, it's pretty redundant now anyway. But when you asked me 3 weeks ago, do you think it's coming home? No. No, we done very, very well for the team we had. I was dead proud of them, but I knew it was not coming home. It wouldn't have been our time. Non-UK locos? RE44s. They're Swiss electric locomotives, and I think they have about 10,000 brake horsepower in each loco, and they ran predominantly on the Gotthard line. Still do. They were used for the SBB express passenger runs. They're now used as double headers on a mixed freight, as they now have like Stadler Flirt units operating a lot of those, and they have much larger RE4 locomotives. Pre-grouping livery, pre-group. I don't really know. Favorite pre-group livery. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't actually know. I don't really have a favourite. I'll have to have a think about that one. I'll have to have a think. iMads TV. What? If I bring this up here, it actually makes it a bit more professional. Yeah, do you like professional? Do we think I should do professional? We don't. Delightful. Because I don't think I ever do. Right. What is the station with the best views, and have you ever filmed at Hemel Hempstead? If you have, how did you find it apart from that great vid's wink face? Tell much. What is the station with the best views? In terms of like spectator views, so you can actually stand and see things from a good distance. I guess it depends really where you go. The West Coast Main Line's got some decent ones. Cheddington is fantastic. Acton Bridge is fantastic. Doncaster on the East Coast Main Line is fantastic. York, because of the nature of the station, is fantastic. I can't say there's one with the best views, because there's so many stations on each railway line that offers amazing views. Like I was in Swindon earlier. Swindon has got some outstanding views. Bristol Temple Meads has some amazing views. Not Chippenham, no. Yeah, I can't say because there's so many. If I had to narrow it down to railway lines, it would be Cheddington on the West Coast Main Line, Doncaster on the East Coast Main Line, Didcot Parkway on the Great Western Main Line, I'd probably say Harpenden on the Harlington on the Midland Main Line. Those I'd probably go with. Yes, I filmed at Hemel Hempstead. I've filmed at Hemel Hempstead plenty of times before. There are videos on my channel if you do wish to go check them out. Preservation 29. Oh, you're a busy bee, aren't you? What is your favourite carriage type as a passenger? And what's the best way to change the oil on a 2006 Chrysler Crossfire? Huh? Well, I'm not a mechanic, my dear fellow, so that one not going to happen. And favourite carriage type as a passenger? I'd probably say a Mark III. The Mark IVs are perfectly decent, but their ride is a bit rough. The Mark III, it just seems to have a good balance. A bit noisy, but it's comfortable, spacious. So I'd go with the Mark III for that one. Dr. Hop 1095. Have you any plans for filming videos other than your usual transporting kind, such as expanding into other areas? No, not really. I do like planes, but my knowledge of them is just non-existent. There are people out there that know planes religiously, much bigger than myself, and it's just something I couldn't get into because I don't know much about them. I can tell like a Boeing 747 from like an Airbus A380, but when you start breaking it down to the smaller ones, like little Cessnas and everything else like that, I wouldn't know, to be fair. So I could film it at Heathrow Airport for argument's sake. I could tell you the airline, but I couldn't tell you the plane because you got 747-800 series, and I don't know if that's a thing, but I don't know enough about planes to warrant doing it. I could do motorsports when I go to various like motorsports like British touring cars or Speedway. I could certainly try and do something like that, but again, it depends if I would get the audience retention for something like that. So I may do a couple of trial runs on something like that and see what happens. In terms of planes, for argument's sake, when I went to filming at Gatwick Airport train station, I will film the comings and goings of planes. Same with Luton Airport Parkway. If I'm filming the trains and the planes are going along, I will film them at the same time. But I don't think I will, as it stands, break out into anything new. Stand behind the yellow lines. Do you? That's getting irritating. Do you have any plans to travel down south to film this year or next year? Yeah, next year probably more so than this year because this year I've got a few things I want to try and get done. But yeah, next year I'm hopeful I'll be able to get into the likes of like the south eastern main line, or even further south into the UK. Just depends what sort of really goes into there. Right, Adam Savage. What got you into trains? Well, this was basically in the 90s when my grandparents used to look after me in Leighton Buzzard, and their house was adjacent to Leighton Buzzard train station. So, excuse me, I would go to Leighton. Well, I'd see trains passing through every single day, and I'd keep watching them, and eventually I would start getting more interested in them. So I'd go onto the platform and I'd just start watching the trains go past. I hadn't got a clue what they were. I mean, obviously now I know that they were Network South East Class 321s and Intercity 86s, HSTs and 90s. I now know what they were. But back then when I was a kid, I hadn't got a clue. They were trains, they were cool, I loved them. So that's basically what it was. The Gamer, can you record Huntingdon or Welling North? Yeah, I can do. Won't be for a while yet, but I can certainly do it for you. Random Rail Enthusiast. Yeah, I can't read all your name because it cuts out a lot of it, but you get the gist. The Random Rail Enthusiast. Keep it at that. From your home, which is the furthest station in Britain you have been to, and was it worth the trip? The furthest I've been to has to be, I dare say, Glasgow Central. Completely worth it. It was absolutely fantastic, and a station I will go back to, definitely. The Pendino chaps. This might seem like a stupid question. No, it probably isn't, but carry on. But do you know that the 125 group have been helped massively by Portage Group Leasing? No. No, I didn't know that actually, to be fair. What I do know is that they have gone and bought a buffet car. It's a bit of a sorry state, but they have gone and bought one. So the future's looking bright for them. But no, I didn't actually know that Porterbrook Leasing had given them a helping hand. So it's not bad actually. Very good. Warrington Train Spotter 2778. Will you be getting Train Sim World for the PlayStation 4? I have an Xbox One, so I probably might get it for that. Would I do a video? Well, you haven't asked me this, but would I do videos on it? I might do. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But I'll probably get an Xbox One because that's the gaming console I have. Right, Thomas Hargreaves. Go to my local station, please. It's Euxton, sorry, or Euston, sorry. Euston Bullshaw Line. Bullshaw Line. I'll tell you what, I've got to put my teeth back in. Yeah, basically, he wants me to go to his local station, please. Yeah, I'll find out. Well, there's been 8 replies on this, so clearly there's a. No, more of a.
When home really matters. Sophology. Feel at home on a sofa you love.
Okay. Alright. Yeah. Bit of a heated discussion on that one, but I'll probably go there at some stage. It won't be this year. I can't guarantee when it will be because so there are other stations I wish to get done to the remainder of this year and next year as well. And of course I have a much bigger series I want to focus on next year as well. So if I can do it for you, I will. But what I will ask is that you just have a little bit of patience on that one, please. Chris at Railway. Hey, love your videos, keep on filming. Thank you very much for saying so, it's greatly appreciated. You got 2 questions, how dare you. Right, what do you think of the new trains for Transplant Express? They look amazing. Obviously I know they're getting the 68s with the Mark 5s. The Mark 5s look very, very sleek, so with the 68s they will work wonderfully. They're getting a new Nova fleet, the Nova 3s and Nova 2s. They look outstanding, they're so futuristic, it's going to look incredible when they get them. And what's your favourite station in Yorkshire? In Yorkshire, it's probably Doncaster. Doncaster's always been a fan favourite of mine. I just love it. It's a fantastic station to go to. Jonathan Van Dyke. Hi Jared. Hope you're. Sorry, try one again. Hi Jared. You are doing an amazing job, and hope you keep up the good work. I most certainly shall, sir. Thank you kindly for saying so. My question to you is, out of all the main lines that you have filmed on, what is your favourite and why? It's the West Coast main line because it's my local main line, so I actually get to go on there a lot. And I've been to near every single station on the West Coast main line, bar a few of the more bigger ones. But I just love the West Coast main line because of the variety you get on there, with electric multiple units, diesel multiple units, freight, special workings, heritage traction, the lot. It's brilliant. It's just amazing. Scottish Traveller. Hi, my question is, are you going to maybe film at some Scottish stations like Dundee, Perth, Inverness and Aberdeen? Yes, I will do this at some stage. As to when I get around to doing them, I don't know because of how far away they are from me, because I live in the Midlands. So it would be a long distance for me to travel to. It'd be fairly expensive as well, but I will do those at some stage. But again, when that will be, I really couldn't tell you. I don't want to try and make a promise and not see to it as much as I can. Right, Nathan Brown. Okay, this is another one of those where the questions have gone in a bit of a cinch you, but apparently this is the second question, so I may find your first question somewhere else in these comments somewhere. How hard is it to catch the train numbers? Unless you know what you're actually looking for, so you need to know where on the trains they are. So obviously if a train's going into a station or out of a station, it's easy. But if they're thundering past you, unless you don't know where to look, it can be difficult. So if you know where to look on a certain train, be it on the nose cone or the side, it does become quite easy. But to start with, it was nigh on impossible for me because I didn't know where I was looking. But it just comes more and more practice. You'll find out where the numbers are, and it will get a lot easier. Minecraft Battle Beast 21v2. Will you ever film at London Victoria? Yes, at some stage I will. Again, I don't know when, but I will go there at some stage. Dr. Mean. Interesting one. What camera? I use a Samsung Galaxy tablet to film all my comings and goings, and that's what I'm actually filming this on now. I'm filming it on a tablet, so nothing terribly fancy. Skull X, at some point will you be quitting transporting or will you be doing it forever? Sorry if this makes no sense. No, it makes perfect sense. I completely get what you're saying. No, my long-term goal is to continue doing this really for the rest of my life. If I can actually, if I could do this as a career, I probably would, to be honest with you. But no, as far as I'm concerned, this is something I'm going to keep doing till the day I conk it. Nelson Plays, what is your favourite station? It depends really on the main line. Sorry, on the on the main line really. What railway line it's on? But I think I've always said it'd be Doncaster. Doncaster's always been my favourite particular one. And Nelson Plays again. What do you have to say about London Midland losing to West Midlands? Well, it was a bidding process. The bidding was fair. The contract went up for the bidding process, and the other firms successfully put the bid in because they have to, for it to work, they have to basically outline what their plans are, what they intend to do with the current fleet, how they intend to improve journey times and add more seats to the railway line. And if the Department for Transport like what they hear, then they award the franchise to these people. And of course, West Midlands is actually a consortium of local councils, and it's not actually a solitary company like London Midland was. But no, I think they've shown great promise. The plans they have to put in action for the railway for the former London Midland City and the actual London Midland Main Line, it looks good. It looks very good. So in the coming years, we're going to see a lot of change to the West Coast Main Line, and obviously the line in and around Birmingham. So let's watch this space, as they say. Right, Logan Clark. Okay, here we go. A few questions here. You've got a few questions. Yes, you do, you GKW. Are you a football fan at all? If so, who do you support? If not, what sports do you like, if any? I support Manchester United. I know I'm about to get a load of hate for that one. Fling it my way. It's all good, trust me. Well, I say I'm a football fan, but I'm not like a religious football fan. If it's on and there's nothing else going, I will watch it. But I wouldn't say like I'm an avid fan. Like, if you ask me to name the entire squad, not a chance. I'm not an avid fan. If it's on, I'll watch it. Rugby though, I'm in. Love rugby. Motorsports, love motorsports. So like Formula One, MotoGP, Speedway, the British Touring Cars, World Touring Cars, the Blancpain Endurance Series, the Le Mans Series. Absolutely love them. Cricket, love it. Right, what is your favourite units? Mine are the 91 and the 158. Favourite units? Well, unit in my eyes comes as like DMU or EMU. So EMU is a class 321 because they just have a sense of character to them. You can never ever replace them. DMU, I don't know really. Probably it's the 158. I have to say. How did you meet your girlfriend, and what does she think of your spotting? We met in the restaurant business together, and yeah, she says that well, she's alright with me doing it. That's all there is to say. Will you be visiting my local station Shrewsbury at all, and if so, when? I will be doing it, but I can't say when it's going to be because I have other places I want to try and get done first. And what is your local station? My local station is actually Northampton. Right. Stu's Hobby Box. I remember this year you went to the Diesel Gala, great video. My question is, do you have any plans on doing a few videos on steam locomotives? Just think it'd be great to see. Yes, I want to do a couple of like steam galas at the Severn Railway, Nam Valley Railway, North Yorkshire Moors Railway, East Lancashire Railway, North Norfolk Railway. Honestly, if I could do them, I would quite happily. I'd love to do them. It would be fantastic. I would be happily do it. Right, Jordan Knight. I have a question for you. Do you? Right, anyhow. Regarding the Class 700, have you had a chance to ride on one yet? If so, what are your thoughts on them? I haven't had the chance to ride on them yet, but from all accounts, they seem to have the same comfort levels as the 800. Apparently the seats are very, very firm. Obviously I've yet to travel on one, but if I do, then I may even do like a review on one. See how that one goes. Right, Warrington Train Spotter 2778. By the time you answer this, the East Coast Main Line will have changed hands again from Virgin Trains to LNER. Why do you think the East Coast Main Line keeps failing? Is it the government fault or the company management? And with the state Northern Railways in, do you think it's time the railway went back to public ownership, e.g. to British Rail? Right, well the problem with Northern is they're going on strike because of the roles of the guards, and other times it's just complete incompetence. And even the RMT union have actually even stepped in and said that some of the strike action that the drivers are taking is actually stupid. So for the unions to say that, yeah. But really, I think it's just Northern's handling of the whole guard scenarios. It's taken a complete nosedive. And in terms of the East Coast Main Line going kaput continuously, it's because that the companies that put bids in to run these services, they put in too much money, and they can't pay it all back. Sea Containers that ran the GNER franchise, they put too much money in and went bang. National Express, they had it for a couple of years, but before they went pot, they actually handed it back because they were losing money. Then you obviously East Coast were run by the government, and that seemed to bizarrely run okay, which is a bit odd, but there we are. Then of course Virgin Trains East Coast came into the equation, and then it was made public that them and Stagecoach had put in way too much money, and they had no hope of paying that off whatsoever, so the government actually had to then bail that company out, so in turn brought back in LNER. Bringing back British Rail probably wouldn't actually solve anything, because you'd still have issues with guards on trains and everything else like that. But in terms of the East Coast Main Line, judging from recent performances, it's actually probably easier just to keep that particular line under government control, under public ownership instead of private. It just seems to be a complete money pit when private firms try and grab it. Right, Train Spotter 123. What station do you want to film at the most, which you haven't already done? Don't know really. Trying to think. I guess Berwick upon Tweed would be quite nice, because you've got the border bridge that goes over the river. That would be a really nice station to film at, actually. I've not filmed there before, so I reckon that would be a real cracker to go to. Right, Ferry Hill Train Spotter. Would you join me at Northallerton sometime? Yeah, certainly. Again, it just depends on when my availability is in comparison to yours. But if we can get something organised, then yeah, straight in. Sign me up. Right, this is going to be a complete butchered pronunciation of this particular name. Ahmad Fayat Ramadan. I'm not from the UK, so forgive me if this sounds basic. No, any questions? A good question. I've heard there's been quite some debate on whether the UK's railways should be nationalised or kept the way it is. My question is, do nationalised companies like SNCF or DB do things better than operators in the UK? And if so, can the UK follow any of their models if there is a call to renationalise railways? I see where you're getting at, because SNCF and Deutsche Bahn operate a stellar network. It's incredible. Because it's all under one company, it means they're not jostling for position. So, whereas in the UK you have open access operators that are almost like a threat to big operators, because they may run like whole trains, for argument's sake. They run up to the likes of Grantham and Doncaster, and then bugger off to Selby and Hull. But Northern Rail can see them as a threat because they're taking revenue away from them. NNER can see it as a threat because they're taking away certain bits away from them as well. They're good models to base off, but in order for that thing to really take place, you would probably need to simulate a lot of running around the UK first to really make that work. But I can see where you're coming from, because sometimes it's a bit of a mess on the UK network, especially with timetables. They can go all over the show. Whereas you look at the French timetable, the Swiss timetable, the German timetable, it's all near enough like bang, 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 bang. It's always on point, and trains always run basically on time. If there are delays, usually very minor, but it's a difficult one, because when British Railways did have it, obviously it started off okay. Then they sectorised everything, so you had Network South East, regional railways, intercity, and then it all went private after that. It's a difficult one, but yeah, you probably look at the Swiss, look at the German. We can sort of go from there. I must apologise. I don't know what's going on. Right, Scott Whittingham. What's the best or worst stations that you've ever been to in the UK, and why? Best is Doncaster because of the sheer variety that you get. And worst was Seven Sisters because of the way I was treated by the staff and actually one of the drivers of the train. It was shambolic, absolutely shambolic, really was. Alex Styles Trains HD. Would you ever film at Exeter St David's? Yes, I would. I have actually been to Exeter, but not to film. I was catching a connecting service to take me back to Birmingham New Street when I filmed at Plymouth and Dawlish. But I will go there. It looks like an amazing station to go to. Loco Force. Got a favourite American train, not including 59, 66 or 70? Yeah, it's the SD40s. I think they are outstanding. Like, they're brutes. They are just out and out brutes. They really are. SWR Train Spotter and HA Level Crossings. If you ever had the chance to film in Ireland, what station would you go to? Well, I'd probably do the likes of probably Dublin and Belfast. That's how, yeah. Go with the two big hitters first, and then probably just move out from now on in, just to play it safe. Right, Kieran Clark, and here comes sort of the questions, but in a random order. I don't know why it's doing this, but you have to bear with me. Question 5 of 8. When will you go to Scotland next? I'm not too sure. As I say, I'm focusing on my Great Western Mail Line series at the minute, and I probably won't go to Scotland this year. Maybe next year, but don't quote me on that. 2 of 8. Do you like 350s? Yeah, I do. When they first came out, I wasn't keen on them. I thought they were pig ugly. I hated that sort of like whoop, 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 whoop noise as they were taking off, but over the time, they've grown on me. Yep, I like them. They're comfortable, they're smooth, they're fast. Very nice. Question 7 of 8. How would you rate Bedford? Probably a solid 7. Views could be a bit better. Other than that, it's a decent enough station. You're not really waiting too long for trains to come through, but from East Midlands Trains or London Western Railway or even Thameslink, you do get a bit of freight come through every now and again, so it's a good station to go to. 1 of 8. How would you rate Cambridge out of 10? Well, it's been a good few years since I went there, so to give it a fair rating, I would need to go back there again, I'm afraid. 4 of 8. Do you prefer Tring or Milton Keynes Central or Milton Keynes, because it's the much bigger station? Obviously you still get the same traffic in Tring, but Milton Keynes has a much better vibe about it. There's a real good atmosphere there. There's always plenty of people running around. You get really good views up and down the line. Pineapple Master 2, what was your favourite trip of 2018 so far? I don't know, to be fair. What would my favourite one be so far? I'd probably say when I went to Sheffield, Doncaster and Leeds. It was nice to get those 3 to sort of done. I had the weather for it. The amount of variety in traffic I was catching, they were very, very enjoyable places to go to. Gadge Boy 313. Have you ever thought of going down the Portsmouth Direct Line, Warpston to Portsmouth Harbour, or the West Coastway Line, Brighton to Southampton Central? Yes, I will be going down to Brighton at some stage, and I've been to Southampton before, and Southampton's a fantastic station. I'd love to go to Brighton, so again, never been there, love to go there, give that a try. Right, Ricky Norris. You're doing an epic job with your Trains app videos and preserved railways. Thank you kindly for saying so. What are your thoughts and opinions about Northern's industrial actions? They're probably taking a bit too far sometimes, cancelling stupid amount of services because drivers are throwing their toys out the pram. But again, if you're going to mess with the guards, then what do you expect? But I think they're taking it a bit too far at times, they really are. Thomas Norton. Some places retain beautiful old signal cabins. Have you got a favourite? You know, I can't say with any certainty I actually know any on the main line. Obviously, preserved railways have them, but if you're looking at main lines, I don't actually know that many to really say, I'm afraid. Train Spotter 60. What stations have you not been able to... which stations have you not been to which you'd like to film at? Well, like I said earlier, Berwick upon Tweed. Never been there before, but I'd love to go. I've passed through it countless times in the past. It looks like an amazing station to go to, so one I'd definitely love to go to. Right, how many more questions have I got to go through? Ooh, we've got a fair amount, and this actually may end up being 3 parts. Oh dear. It's not really how I wanted that one to go. Right, British Rail fan. What is your favourite station so far that you've recorded at so far? I'll probably say Doncaster, to be fair. That's going to be a fan favourite of mine. Where are you from? I'm from the Midlands. What is your main line to record on? The West Coast main line. Is 2922 your first or only YouTube channel? It's my only one. If you see that name appear anywhere else, I can assure you it's not. Well, I can assure you it's not me. So if you see me like any like railcam chats, it's not me. I literally have just this channel on YouTube. When are you going to record some more with Great Western Main Line? I've actually filmed that recently. I filmed Bristol Parkway, Bristol Temple Meads, Bath Spa, Chippenham and Swindon. Have you ever been on the Pacer from LC Trains? Yes, I have. It was horrid from Liverpool Lime Street to Liverpool South Parkway. It was a wretched experience and one I do not wish to repeat. TBDS 77, what is your favourite band? It's a group called The Levellers. If you've never listened to their music before, listen to a song called One Way. It's an amazing song to get you started into them. Give their other songs a try, they are fantastic. I aspects, will you be going to any station of the Liverpool area like Hertford or Winsford? Excuse me, what is going on I do not know, but I can't apologise enough. So sorry, let me ask that one again. Will you be going to any station up in the Liverpool area like Hertford or Winsford again? Congrats, by the way. Thank you very much for saying so. That's greatly appreciated. I'll be going to Liverpool Lime Street at some stage and Liverpool South Parkway. I intend to get both those done. When that'll be, I don't know, but I will do them. GBRF Fan 92. You have 4 questions here for me. Number 1, what is your favourite diesel locomotive? It's the Class 68. What is your favourite electric locomotive? The Class 86. What is your favourite locomotive that attended the Severn Valley Railway Spring Diesel Festival? That was a mouthful to say. It's torn between the ScotRail Class 47, I can't say I've got a favourite because I've got a few that I really liked. The ScotRail Class 47, the 88, the Crossrail 56, and the 20. Yeah, no, 73s. 7 or 20, 70. How did I get a 20 out of 73? Idiots. Yeah, that was the ones. What's your favourite Class 90 livery? It's the Malcolm livery for DB Cargo UK. Very, very snazzy. Keep up the good work as I love your videos. Thank you kindly for saying so. I apologise for trying to battle through these, but I'm trying to sort of get through these as much as I can. I want to try and not avoid doing a third part because that will drive you a lot nuts, but I think it's going to happen. Balmahan 1971, what station are you looking forward to doing this year? Well, it was going to be Bristol Temple Meads and Bath Spa and Swindon, but I actually did those just recently, just actually up before I started filming this. Transport 2003, what was your favourite preserved railway and favourite EMU? Favourite preserved railway is probably the Severn Valley Railway, and favourite EMU has got to be the Class 321. Best and worst station to film at. Worst was Seven Sisters because the staff would treat you like a criminal. Best station to film at, if you're looking for a really good variety, is going to be Doncaster. I tell you what, I've banged through those as quick as I can, and I've managed to get them all through. I apologise if I've not answered them in as great a detail as you would like. If you would like me to go into greater detail about some of the questions, please comment on this video of which ones you'd like me to go into greater detail for, and I will actually answer you in a comment below. But I wanted to try and avoid getting 3 parts out of this because A, it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I am absolutely knackered, and I think you lot would be absolutely nuts if I went through 2 videos and didn't answer your questions and you had to wait till a third one, so you went through 40 odd minutes of me waffling on. But thank you for contributing to this video, guys. Greatly appreciated. And again, I apologise for having to keeping you waiting for so long. But yeah, you've definitely given me some amazing questions. Definitely really does mean a lot to me that you guys get actively involved in what I do. I want to get you involved in what I do, and I want to try and meet up with some of you when I can. And yeah, basically it's just a massive thank you to contributing towards those Q&As. I will be doing another one in a few months' time. Essentially, the way I see it, the more subscribers I get, the more I want to get involved. If I do hit 5,000 subscribers, in fact, let me do a real-time check for you now, so I can tell you how much I'm actually at, to just give you a bit of a vague idea when it could potentially be. Where are we? Typing my own name onto YouTube is quite sad really, but there we go. Okay, I'm currently at 4,685, so I've got a while to go before I hit 5,000, but when I hit 5, I'll probably do another one then, because I just want to get more people involved in what I do. I know obviously not all of them will get involved in these sort of things, but if they just want to be a little bit curious, ask me a question, then yeah, it is all good. So yeah. And that was all without a coffee as well. I went through a fair amount of time without a coffee. But at 2 o'clock in the morning, I think, yeah, it's I've gone red. That was from being out in the sun today as well. Well, yesterday, however you want to look at it. But yeah, so yeah, sorry for not answering you in great detail. But if you want me to go into more detail about certain things, drop a comment down below, and then I will actually reply to you with a comment of my own. And try and get into more detail where possible. But yeah, thanks guys. Massive shout out to the lot of you. You lot are absolutely fantastic. Stellar performance. Keep an eye out for my 5 new Trains Out videos to be released throughout this week. And they're probably going to be 7 actually, because I'm going to have 2 I'm going to want to film during weekdays. And then this is going to be a backlog. So yeah. So I'm going to go get some sleep because I am absolutely cream crackered. So thanks very much guys. Take care of yourselves and I'll catch you all in due course. Ta-ra.